Figma just paid massive money to acquire an AI node-based workflow platform called Vivi. Why? AI generation alone is dead. The problem? Fragmented tools are slow. You jump from image AI to video to editor, it's chaos. And so, Vivi is the answer. Hi, I'm Nishant, and in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use this workflow machine to automate tasks like creating a 3D model, building animated environments, making complex art compositions all in one place. No more switching apps, giving teams the perfect control over their workflows. So hello and welcome to this episode of Hustle Hatch, where I'm going to show you how you can use Vivi to build, automate and edit complex workflows for all your creative hustles in Madness. So as established, Vivi is an AI-powered design workflow platform that unifies all the major generative AIs, image, video, and 3D into one single powerful node-based canvas. A big thanks to Mishra for the recommendation because it's just a freaking insane tool. Right, so as soon as you get here, very elegant website. As you can see right up top, you can see how Vivi is joining Figma, called out because it is a big bloody deal. And straight snapshot on their very first page itself, right, in terms of how the workflows are connected, how you can have all these various AI models together in a single place like I just described, a tool that will help you make various types of outputs and, obviously a very insane looking website in general, but in all honesty, that's pretty much how the tool itself is. It's giving you hints of how you're weaving things together into various pieces to make exactly the workflow you want, giving it a very apt name. So as soon as you log in, a very simple way to do so with, in fact, some free credits, the kind of explanations you can do itself are pretty insane. But, with fairly affordable pricing, imagine having all these tools in one place itself. And, right up top, before you even start anything, you can see all these various tutorials and workflows that are readily available. And you can use all of those directly and make minor adjustments to that to create exactly what you're looking for. But let's not do that. Let's create workflow from scratch. Before we create something though, let's just have a look at the interface real quick and understand how exactly we can go about doing things, right? So right at the beginning, right click and you have all these various components to pick from, whether it's a prompt, whether you're importing something, the tools that are there, the various image models that are available, all of it, massive drop downs and lists so that you can pick exactly which node you want. If it's going to be a video model, it has the likes of Kling, Runway, Van, all, Sora, everything that I described earlier. If you want something for lip sync, and through this, I'm sure you can see how we're going to connect multiple nodes of these various tools together and build exactly what we want, rather weave what we want together. So here's the first use case where I want to build an environment really quickly using a set of prompts and maybe some reference images that I may have generated in the past. And as I've time and again described, my strategy to make sure my prompts are good are always to use LLMs like Gemini or GPT or whatever. So really quickly from GPT, a quick prompt that I was able to generate that I've put over here in terms of what that stage needs to be. This, for example, is for a math product that we are working on, and the presenter is going to stand on an environment like this and kind of take the class forward. So a futuristic 3D virtual classroom stage themed around mathematics, all these elements very clearly called out in terms of the geometry, the elements and symbols that need to be there, probably a center podium. There's a lot of extra gas that I can, effectively eliminate if at all I want to, based on what GPT has given me. But moving on, to kind of connect this prompt to another node, right? And obviously the node is going to be an image generator, because here first we want to generate an image. So, really looking for what works best, or rather what takes lesser credits, because as you can see, free credits are only 150 as you start off. And Nano Banana, it's not going to take too many, just 4 credits. You can add as many image inputs like you can see here, and I have 4-5 images of environments we've created in the past. So really quickly, just connecting all those different nodes together, as you can see, importing and dragging the image that I want. 3-4, stuff that we've made for an arithmetic environment, for geometry, for algebra, data science and whatnot. And just putting all these elements together, pulling these nodes across to the main output box and getting our prompt working, and there you go. The model has given me an environment that looks awfully similar to one that already exists. So let's see what happens if you potentially delete that, right? And this is just to kind of show you how different inputs create different kinds of outputs, and at the end of the day all these tools have this kind of exploratory nature, right? There you go, something that's more of an amalgamation of all these tools. And let's see what would have happened if there were fewer reference images given. And so here you can see clearly it starts interpreting the prompt the way it likes, as you can see. And of course you can also change the aspect ratio. You can get exactly the kind of output that you want. Let's see what it'll create with just the prompt. And there you go, something a lot more ethereal, maybe a little bit more noisy than the previous ones. But now that you've been able to successfully create your particular image, assuming this is the one that you like or you want to take forward, now let's see how we can connect the same node to another one, which is an image to video generator that we can pull off here. And I've shown a bunch of workflows in the past where I've created a film trailer, an explainer video, and the likes of that, which you can even see in this video linked up above. But each time you want to do something like that, you got to move to another tool like Kling AI, like Helio. And imagine if all of those were easily accessible in one place where I can literally look for Kling video right here, connect it, and put a quick prompt. And again, like I told you, my hack for getting the prompt, normally go to GPT, ask it to give you the prompt so that you can take exactly what you want from here and then put it. Not really what I'm looking for in this particular case, but just let's make it a little clear in terms of what exactly I want. And there you go. Create a 3D animation showing a futuristic mathematics classroom, blah, blah. There's extra fluff that we can just put out. We don't really need all that stuff. Just kind of keeping it a little shorter. Let's see what we get when we run the model with that prompt, with that reference input, rather now output based on what we got from Nano Banana with all the references that we had given it. And there you go. Here is the animation, a stage with its reveal, the bookcases and whatnot coming from the background together to create this environment. And boom, what used to take us, I don't know, close to 2 weeks in terms of creating the 3D model, making the mood board, conceptualizing and whatnot, and then animating it, all done in a single workflow in less than 7-10 minutes. So here's the second use case where we can make potential 3D models of characters, right? And really quickly, like I've already shown you how you can use prompts, put reference images, and generate exactly what you want on Weavy itself. I'm being a little chindi over here, so to say, and trying to save my credits, which is why I've generated the images that I want from Nano Banana already, rather than burning 4 credits over here. Hack that you can also take forward, which unfortunately defeats the purpose of this tool, which is do everything in one place. But irrespective, to kind of show you how exactly other workflows can give you exactly what you want. Here is an image that I really quickly generated of Nano Banana of a few characters for a new IP that we are building for a different geography altogether, right? So kind of need to repurpose the existing characters to look a specific way that appeals to that target audience and geography. So input in Nano Banana. Really quickly, let's remove the background over here. And of course, I could do this on Photoshop, but again, calling it out. Each of these things can happen separately in different tools, but the entire USP or use case of this is that you can do it all in one place. Build the workflow exactly to do what you want in one place. So remove the background over here itself, run the model really quickly, SD3 like you saw me pick, and there you go. The characters are just there, Nanga background, transparent, it's set. Let's remove the sitting character, because of course if I want to build a 3D model and the other two are the primaries, you can just really quickly get rid of this character, and that obviously means I need to generate the image again, which means I will use an image node like a Nano Banana again, for example. And now, just to continue everything on in the same workflow, even though I could have done it separately, here you go, character gone. Now again, let's just do what I just showed you in terms of removing the background, and boom, now we have only the 2 characters that we want, as you can clearly see over here. What's going to happen next is we're going to make a 3D model out of this. So really quickly, we create a new node for 3D, Rodin V2 for example. Directly, the previous node is connected to this one, and I could run the model straight and get what I want, but just to show you a couple other features that exist internally, even though I may have to burn a credit or 2 over here. An image describer, for example, right? It's able to see the image and then as you run the model, tell you exactly what it is, which is animated image showing characters in town, a girl in hijab, a boy with cap gestures energetically. So very clearly you can see, how the same prompt now I can use to create different art styles. And if I can just tweak this prompt a little bit, say Ghibli style or whatever, like it was a fad back in the day, really quickly I can connect it to an image model. This time, let's say we're using something like an Imagen 4 by Google, and you can see what the model gives us, a completely different art style and whatnot. So while that's a potential digression from what I was mainly talking about, I just want to show you how you can make the same artwork in various art styles. And as you see, the model's run, Rodin's done its magic, and that's the bloody 3D character set right in front of us. Maybe not as high fidelity as making something from scratch, but I was able to make this in 5 minutes. And straight, you can download exactly what you want in the GLB format as well to then use for whatever animations up ahead. Onwards to the next use case where I'll show you how to build an entire world from scratch. Before that though, if you like what I'm showing you, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I make a ton of these kind of video breakdowns, show you the latest AI tools that you can use for your hustle. So if it helps, please don't forget to check more of my content. On to the next use case. And again, it always becomes a little easier to start with a reference image, whether it's something that you generate over here with a quick prompt or it's something that you already have in handy like I do over here. And what I mean by world is basically, again, an environment, say for an animated 3D show or an IP or something like that, right? So a real quick image of this very space themed background that we have, a real quick prompt that, I'm just going to type real quick. Create a sci-fi like castle in an island to make it a water world based environment, right? So it's too space based right now. Let's kind of make it more island oriented or whatever, and connect this again to an image based node, which is Gemini in this case, with the reference, with the prompt. Okay, it's just kind of created the environment to look a little bit like water right now. Not exactly what I'm looking for. And that's why I want to show you a more complicated workflow where I'm connecting multiple nodes to get exactly what I want and testing more image nodes and whatnot. So let's have another prompt real quick, right? Make the background blue skies, make the shot much tighter, make the castle a lot more high definition, right? Just some few things to call out basically, and increase the size of the main island in the center. Again, let's connect that prompt to a Nano Banana image node. And let's see with the new prompt, with the previous reference image, what we get. And there you go. Largely what I asked for, but not really the tighter shot, not really a clearer castle the way I'd like. Let's see what would happen if I would do this with a different model, for example, right? And really quickly, again, just the environment that has been created, basically a prompt that I've picked up from GPT, from an experiment that I've shown you in the past that works really well for me. Connect the prompt, connect the image. Let's try Runway Gen 4 as an example, right? And let's change the aspect ratio this time, because at the end of the day, if you're making a video or an IP like that, then 16:9 is the ideal aspect ratio that we like our content to be created in. As you can see, by the way, you can also set up your resolutions, and based on the resolution that you pick, the credits that it costs you varies. In fact, as you can see over here, Runway itself has more credits than Nano Banana, like I touched upon earlier as well. So end of the day, you got to experiment with all of these based on the number of credits you have, or you don't be cheap like me and you actually buy subscription to Vivi itself. But this is what Runway gave me: a lot more high definition, a lot more fancier, a castle, a tighter shot like we talked about, etc. Let's see if we can make some minor adjustments to the prompt to kind of get exactly what we're looking for. So some of the extra stuff that's been called out that we don't really need, we can kind of remove and tweak a little bit. On top stands the castle as in the reference image. Let's just see if the rest of the fluff that was there earlier, if we remove and we just simplified a little bit, what exactly we get. And there you go. Okay, something similar but a little different, but a lot more elegant as well, basically. Let's see what we'll get with slightly more variations to the prompt, right? Let's remove the floating island part. Let's see if we can make a little realistic an environment. So a large island rising in the vast blue ocean under the bright sky does the trick, and all that extra shit about the waterfalls cascading and whatnot, none of that crap is needed. So let's just chop all of that as well. Let's try now with Nano Banana, using the previous one as a reference to see what exactly we get. Not forget to do 16:9, run the model, and Nano Banana is kind of stuck on that particular input that we're giving it, the reference input that we're giving it, which is why we don't see too much variation here, unfortunately. But let's try a Runway Gen 4 image again, because at the end of the day, it was pretty high res, the output that we got, right? So running the model, and okay, too realistic. Looks like a shot right out of Spain or Italy or something like that, right? Let's try Sea Dream. Let's see if we can get a little bit more fantasy look with a slightly different model like this. And fuck me, again, it's gotten that exact same look as the reference image. So I need to figure out a way to kind of remove the dependencies on that particular image unfortunately in the prompt writing, remove futuristic aircraft or cables isn't really working. So let's see if we can make a few more tweaks to the prompt to kind of get exactly what we want and run the model again. And yeah, there you go. Something a lot better. Again, you got that energy shit like it's some bloody Matrix scene. But I'll show you a little bit about how you can also make adjustments to your art on VV directly. Of course, I could just download this, take this into Photoshop, use Firefly, in fact, even use Nano Banana as per the latest update of Photoshop to kind of make these adjustments that I want. But to show you a slightly more complicated workflow to tweak your artwork within VV itself, here you go. Real quick image model to pick, edit images, and let's pick the content aware fill, right? So connecting the previous node over here and building a mask. Because at the end of the day, we want to mask that section in the middle and, then make it look a little bit more realistic. So let's put a prompt over here that helps us define this a little clearly. Fix the center island to, so that it isn't floating. Let's keep it a little simple. And there you go. You see the mask? It's kind of identified exactly the section that needs to get covered up basically. And now that the mask is connected to the image, these are the two nodes that are connected to the content aware fill node. And you can see the mask by text node was created using a prompt earlier. On running the model, let's see if it's able to do actually what we're looking for. And there you go. It's properly filled it up. And we were able to create from this image with a slightly complicated workflow, but something that allowed us to do all our editing in one place itself. There's a ton of stuff that you can do on VV, like I've clearly established already, right? And like I briefly touched upon earlier, also you have all these various workflows that you can pick right from top and do exactly the kind of stuff that you want. Here's something that I dabbled with as well in terms of a brand book creator or a brand guide creator, right? And there's already an existing workflow that I can use, just make all the changes that I want to the texts and the prompts that cater to exactly what my requirement is. And I actually went ahead and created within 20 minutes, I absolutely kid you not, a whole brand book using a few images for my mom's new knitting initiative called Knits and Chains. And I was able to do all of that, like I said, in 20 minutes using the images of her products, stuff that she knits like ponchos and whatnot, giving a few prompts that I was able to generate off GPT and of course use my own brains based on some input that mom gave me about what she's looking for. And boom, 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 was able to create the logos, some product photos, some posters that she can use as, posts on social media and whatnot, all within 20-30 minutes. I plan to make a whole video on how exactly I use this workflow, or rather repurposed existing workflows that VV offers for my particular use case. And if you liked what you saw and if you want to see how exactly I went about doing this as well, please do leave a comment so that I know it's worth producing and putting out there. I hope you found this video useful and you could see how VV can help you with all these media tasks that you can use with your hustle. If so, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and peace out. I'll see you in the next one.